All right, well, it's the top of the hour. We want to get started. My name is Troy Vlahos with Energy Products Distribution. I want to say welcome to all of you joining us today. Thank you to our esteemed panelists today. We're excited to have you see their presentations. Just to remind you, this is a webinar, so any questions that you'd like to have us answer, feel free to send them through the Zoom platform. We will do our best to answer them throughout the day. If we don't answer them, we certainly will get back to you and answer them. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you our first presenter, the owner of Always Clean, Felix Lin, who's had explosive growth as a 3M Pro Shop dealer. We asked Felix to share his digital strategy and how it has complemented and helped grow his business. So Felix, take it away.
Troy, thank you for the introduction. It's an honor and a privilege to be here before you guys, and thank you for the opportunity. I just want to share a little bit of what I've been doing, what I've been using, and to hopefully help your businesses to hopefully grow the way I've been growing here in New Jersey. So my name, as again, is Felix Lin. I own a company called Always Clean Detailing Services. I've been in business for about 7 years now, and we're located in Fair Lawn, New Jersey, which is about 15 minutes from New York City. I've been with 3M for about 3 years now, starting as a window tinter. And now we do vinyl wraps, we do paint protection film, and the ceramic coatings as well. So today they asked me to talk about digital marketing. There are so many aspects to digital marketing, from base level to more advanced. I honestly am not a professional in digital marketing regarding to advertisement, but however, we've grown to a place where we can now actually hire professionals that are focused on digital marketing. If we need to use them, we can spend money and provide extra budgeting for that. However, today I'm going to be speaking about ways that I've grown in the early days, even to where we're still using we're still using the ways of marketing right now to hopefully help you without spending a single cent. So what is digital marketing? Back in the days, we used to use newspapers, yellow pages and whatnot, but we have come to a point in our time in this generation where everything is online based. Everyone has a cell phone, everyone has tablets, everyone has an internet. And digital marketing has been huge for a lot of businesses. And honestly, when I started my business, I didn't really think much about digital marketing because the first thought about digital marketing is quite expensive. Using Facebook ads, Google, Yelp, or whatever it is, it's just a little too expensive for me as a small business owner. So what is digital marketing? It's basically, if you just Google definition, it says digital marketing is the component of marketing that utilizes internet and online-based digital technologies such as desktop computers, mobile phones, and other digital media and platforms to promote products and services. So I actually want to start off with a quick testimony of how digital marketing helped me close a deal within 12 hours. As of this morning, a client emailed me at 7 p.m. last night, and I was quick to respond, a simple quick quote of their crystalline tinting needs. And the job was about $1,000 worth of work for the crystalline job. I finally got a response this morning at 6 o'clock. I was up around 7 o'clock. I sent a follow-up email saying, and you got a follow-up question about the shop and when's the next appointment. And within 12 hours, they said, hey, I want to come in. Let's make an appointment. We made an appointment, and now they're coming in next week. And that was all thanks to digital marketing. Couldn't have happened. I would have never met this client named Chris with a Tesla Model S to come in to get tints done. So thanks to digital marketing, now I got a new job coming in next week, and we're booked for that day. So what do I use for free leads to bring new clients in that I've never met before? I use websites like Yelp, Google, Facebook groups, and Instagram, and more importantly, our own website. So I'm going to start off with our website. We have a domain, not too long, not too complicated. It is our brand name, alwayscleancars.com. It's pretty easy to remember. So it's very important that you don't make such a long, web domain where it's like, always clean tins, vinyl, PPF, detailing, cars.com. It's quite hard to remember. So I kept it very simple. And as you can see on the list on our webpage, it's quite simple, straightforward. This is the first thing you see. You see a nice car in the background. On top, got simple links. It's not overly complicated. We want to show our accolades that we are a Pro Shop dealer and we are Optico authorized dealer. And on the bottom of that, we share with them and show them, look at our reviews. You know, for the past few years here, being a 3M dealer, you can see there was 60 reviews with Google, with Yelp, and Facebook. More importantly, I guess you might want to know how to get this website. Back in the days, you would spend thousands of dollars on the website, you know, whether it's like $5,000 or $10,000 to provide a customized website. Thankfully, I use Squarespace. It's about $220 to $250 a year, and it includes a domain. You can definitely sign up for free, give free trial, try out, you know, different templates. It's easy to drop some new pictures, edit the description, whatnot. You can do this in your own home, in your own comfort of your own home. You don't have to hire a web designer to do all this and pay them hundreds of dollars. You can actually do this on your own. And so it's quite simple and easy to do. It obviously takes a little bit of time to get used to, but it's quite, you know, helpful to build your business. So we got our important links up here. And then more importantly, we actually have this very important button here on the top right corner. I don't know if you see my mouse, but it says request for quote. This is how I got our client that I was telling you about earlier, that we closed our deal within 12 hours as of this morning. Request for quote, very simple. I want to know who these people are that are coming in, their first name, last name, email address, so we can contact them, follow up. If we want to send them a menu or send a quick quote response, we're going to need their email address. Their phone number, if they prefer a text. It's very also important to have a cell phone. I know some people still have traditional landlines. It's totally fine. But I also recommend having a cell phone or some way where you can send text messages and pictures over text messages. It's quite useful and quite fast to get information to your client quickly. You got their phone number and referral. You want to know where they're hearing you from: Google, Yelp, Facebook, a friend, a neighbor, dealership, whatever it is. And then they just kind of click away. You know, they want detailing, whatnot. They want window tinting. They want paint protection film, put year, make, model, and some notes. You know, some of the kinds they tell you, you know, what's the condition of the car, what to expect. They have maybe specifics. And once we get that, and we actually get an email. Let's see if I can share this with you guys in an email. Give me 1 second here. You share. Let's go to this one. See if you see this. All right, so this is the one, or actually it's a test of my why. This is the one you can see. Can you email me at 7:25 p.m.? Having a website, you don't have to be open within your time frame. They could do this at 12 a.m. at midnight. You could be sleeping and you're getting leads. So once they fill, you got their first name, email address, phone number, referral. This one, I guess, I don't know, somehow he heard us about us, but he didn't leave any information. He's just in the window tinting. And he's looking for 70% windshield tint for the 3M Crystalline, which is our top of line tints that we offer here at 3M, right? So what I do, and then I think, what I do here? 11:35 p.m. You know, when you're own your own business, there's no time frame of when you close. You're constantly always thinking. So if you want to hustle, you know, I was up that time. I wrote, "Hi, Chris. You know, thanks for reaching out," and gave him a quote about the Crystalline in the front, the back, and a little bit. And I said, "Hey, let us know how we can help." And guess what they said the next day, 7 a.m. this morning. "Thank you for reaching out so fast. I know I'm interested in this and that. I'd like to make an appointment." That was all within the last 12 hours or so. And I confirmed we had this available date. You know, it'll take about 3 hours to complete. Whatnot, we could shuttle you, kind of give them the perks, right? What's you can provide to them. We could shuttle you. You can wait for us. We have a nice waiting room for you. The benefits of using us as a tinter. And it goes, "That works for me. Sign me up. See you then." It was that simple and that quick. Obviously, this is just a great example that happened this morning. It's not always like this, but just want to give you an idea of how having your own website and having an RFQ button really helps, you know, get you quotes and get clients in the door. Also, I'm going to go back to the homepage. We have all this information. You know, some pictures, you know, our shop, you know, detailing, window tinting, and then you click on window tinting, kind of gives you the breakdown. You want to try to provide all the information you can, you know, as you may know, 3M is such a big brand. Let's kind of show it off, you know, and then tells you a little bit more about it, crystalline, ceramic, and kind of give you different options, right? So that's our website. The next thing I want to talk about is Yelp and how Yelp has been so huge for us. So if you type in Google Yelp business, you click on that. You can, if you don't have a Yelp business account, I highly recommend signing up. It doesn't cost you a single cent to do. So when you go in here, you know, just fill out manage my listing and put some pictures, put in some important information. But more importantly, once you have that all set up, I'm going to see if I can get to our Yelp page to give you an idea. So as you can see here, I typed window tinting and location Fair Lawn. I put any local towns nearby. They're going to come up with some options here. You can see a lot of competitors, whatnot, but more importantly, you can see on the top says sponsored results. I'm not paying for anything right now. They encourage you to pay. I've been saving myself a lot of money by not paying, and it's been okay for me at least. And you can see all these are sponsored pages for nearby tinting companies. But you can see I show up on the top. You know, it could be because I am closest to Fair Lawn because I'm Fair Lawn. But more importantly, what you're going to see here is the reviews. The reviews make such a huge difference. They're little stories and testimonies about other clients that have been, that worked with you. And you want to hear out. Simple, always clean detail was a fantastic experience for window tinter. Felix, owner, was very hit more. I'm sure it'll show some more information. But, you know, more importantly, you got the pictures, the hours, dates, pretty straightforward. Things that you don't have to do over phone, they can just tell you. So we got pictures of the window tints that we've done. And whenever they leave a review, you have the option to actually respond to the reviews. I think it's quite important to do that, to show that it's personal, that you're not some random robot in the background and you don't care about the responses. I think, you know, it's a saying a thank you for the opportunity to talk about the car. Hope to see them again. You know, great choice. I'm curious, just not just be friendly with them. And you know what? People see this, you know, and they appreciate that it's very personal, that you're not just some guy background, but like the owner of the company is actually being very proactive and responding to clients. The other thing you want to also be mindful is responding to the RFQs on Yelp. So you can request for quote, which was actually on the right here. Hit request for quote. They're going to put their information, their name, and information what they want to do. But you can see here on Yelp, they actually time you. They want to know how quickly you respond. So you always have your phone ready, you know, your cell phone where you have the Yelp app downloaded and having notifications. So when someone submits a request, you're up and running. You're up and be able to respond as quick. I unfortunately am at 20 minutes. I used to be at 10. I was very proud of being at 10 minutes, but you can see other people are 2 hours. And actually, if you look at the bottom, it says 127 local recently requested a quote. This is quite important too, because you want to know, compared to other companies, how many people are requesting quotes for you directly and not from these other people, which this guy, Georgie's, you know, great company too, but they're about, you know, a few towns away. It takes them 2 hours and only 26 people request quote from that. And you can see 10 hours, 7 hours, you know, it adds up, right? But if you can be highlighted as the company that responds within 10, 20 minutes, that's a nice thing. You know, like people want to contact you because, you know, these days everyone doesn't have time. It's just everything. Everyone wants things quick. You know, Amazon has done that. You know, next day shipping used to be 1 week free shipping. Now it's what, 2 days and 1 day. They're improving that. And that's what we have to do. At these times, we need to move with the times of improving, especially on digital marketing online to be on top of our game. So you see the reviews, your company name, we respond real quick. We even put this simple deal of $45 or $50, you know, it's $5 savings. You don't have to go drastic, you know, going like, you know, 50% off deal. It's something simple to show like you're willing to offer something. And you see on the first picture, it's our waiting room. It's not a car. It's not, you know, our shop. Well, we want to show them, you know, something like, hey, you come to our shop, you have a nice waiting room, you can just hang out here. So, you know, that's besides the part of the digital marketing, but that's the second part of, you know, maybe a series of like, how do we, you know, welcome people? Because image is very important, right? Not your name brand, logo, and brochures and such, but, you know, them coming into the shop and following through after the request is, you know, provided. So that's Google in a nutshell. You know, there's a little bit more into it, but, you know, with my 30-minute segment, I'm just going to go through other options that we have. Google Business, type in Google Business, and you're going to your first link. Definitely sign up for this. Google's huge. It's probably definitely the #1 search engine. Every time they look for tints, local tints, you know, it's going to pop up. So what I did was, here's an example. Window tints nearby or window tints. I come up usually #1 or top 3, even with towns, you know, a few miles away. It shows some, you know, pictures, what we worked on, some reviews and whatnot. You know, it shows all our pictures, shows our recent reviews, whatnot, 4.8 out of 5, 64 reviews. You could even request a quote from here too. You can go for directions, you know, give a quick call. All that is here. It's simple to get, you know, people just to introduce themselves and just get a feel of what they need, and then hopefully invite them in to get the job done. So this is highly recommended to set up to if you haven't done so yet. Facebook, you can set up also a free listing about your Facebook. You can, you know, create one of these. Again, these things take a little bit of time. This doesn't cost you a cent. I have Facebook and Instagram together, where when you post on Instagram, it posts on Facebook too, identical things. So that way you don't have to do double the work, basically. Here they can message you, request for quotes here as well. But what I use Facebook more often is actually Facebook groups. A good example, I actually own a Tesla, actually 2 Teslas, and I own a rental company too. We rent out exotic cars and sports cars and whatnot. So I have the privilege to join certain groups that are private that want to make sure you have a car, you're not just randomly joining. So if you go to groups here, right now, I'll give an example. Tesla, I'm in New Jersey, so let's go to Tesla Club of New York, New Jersey. I joined, they accepted my invitation. They invited me in. I come into one of these groups, let's just say here. And these groups, they talk a lot about the cars. They're always talking about like, hey, where do you recommend to get vinyl wraps or chrome delete? Where do you go for tinting? Any recommendations? And thankfully, I have such a wonderful clientele base that they do actually say, hey, go to Felix's, go to, Always Clean in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. I'm just doing my own thing. I'm working or I'm sleeping, and people are actively promoting your company. So my recommendation with Facebook groups, once you join a group, be proactive, be helpful. It's not about just promoting your business, but just being a nice guy and just trying to help them and being part of the community, So then you can give recommendations, this and that. And that's just another way to promote your business, getting very proactive and interacting with other people that could be your potential clients. Instagram, just as important. People love pictures and videos. Instagram. So we have our own page. It shows, our rental side, 3M Films, detailing our website and highlights of certain things that we've done recently. We did window tints on this Durango. And then we've done here paint protection film on a brand new G80 M4. We did highway package, ceramic coating by 3M. And you can see the services we put in here. And then they follow up with some, responses. Where Chris called, we're solid. I told him I would anyone touch the car besides the crew always clean. Again, I didn't say anything. It's just people randomly just saying nice things about the picture and then our shop and whatnot. Free promotions, people that are real people that are recommending your shop. So, I put here paper to the optical 3M, just highlighting the things that we do. And, I recommend just keeping on top of this. I unfortunately is not very good about this. So I actually hired someone for $500 a month, send some pictures every day of the work that we've been doing. And then they actually put the description together. They do the tags and whatnot. And I get a lot of new clients through Instagram. And then, through Instagram, they can actually message you too. So when they message you, they're always asking about, this guy wanted to get detailing about his Volkswagen. This guy wanted to do vinyl wrap on his top of his roof. This guy, it goes on. And this guy wants to do paint protection film on his brand new a Toyota, SUV. So brings new clients. They see your pictures, show they're proactive. These are just free ways of getting people in the door and just getting to know you. So that's pretty much what I use that's been helping our business. We got Yelp, Google, Facebook, Instagram, and your website, which is pretty important. Another thing that, we're talking about digital is, menus. Back in days, you just print out, and I have a few at my shop, a paper version of our menu. But more importantly, we actually put our menu online. I don't know why not a lot of companies do this. Maybe they're scared of showing what their prices are. But if you click on view services, actually, it's very transparent. Our pricing is very simple, straightforward. We have a PDF version that you can download on your computer or your phone. But what I like to do is actually on my cell phone, when people request for quotes and such on the phone, I actually have these as screenshots on my phone, where it's just attach it as a picture and quickly attach that and send it via text so they can have a copy on their phone. And with this, if you think about it, they can forward this to their friends. Even if they lose the brochure, the hard copy, they have this on their phone. It's rare that they're going to lose their phone. So it's always easy to access. So we got our tints on the corner, very straightforward pair of windows I've seen is this price. Again, your market might be different, might be a little cheaper, might be a little bit more. Definitely, this is just an example. I pretty laid out very simple, where if you have a Rolls Royce or a Civic, 2 window tints for Obsidian is going to be $100. We don't upsell, even if it's like 2-inch longer on the door. I'm not going to say it's $110. It's just much easier for training my employees, knowing how to quote easily. So this is one way of digital marketing. So I highly recommend getting a very solid brochure and then posting it, making a PDF version and have it ready to email to people or screenshot it on your phone so you could easily attach it to your text. That's been super helpful for us. And it also cross promotes, right? For example, the guy wants detailing, heard us, we're a detailing company, but giving this menu, they're like, wait, oh my gosh, you do paint protection. Oh, you will do tints. I was thinking about doing that at another company. Well, maybe we could do that all at one time at shops. It saves me time. And it seems like maybe we could get him a good quote, bundling all together and cross promote, right? This is the way, just put it all together. So that's what I do. So let's say now you got these clients coming in. What do you do with it? Oh, you can't wait a week, right? You can't wait a week or two, or even 30 days, or even skip and miss these opportunities that people are just willing to give you money and pay for your services, right? So what do? A few things that I've done to help me follow through is definitely having your cell phone notifications up and running pretty loud or vibrations, and making sure my emails are always on my cell phone. Because you can have your laptop at work, you can have your desktop, and then you can close to the day at 5 o'clock, but you don't have access to emails. For me, again, I like to hustle. I like to try to get new clients, and clients do like that quick responses. You don't know how many times I got clients coming in. It's like I request for quote from 10 different shops. You're the first one to respond within 5 minutes, and the rest never got back to me. And when they come in to get tints with us a day later, they're like, they still haven't gotten back to me. Or by then it's a little too late. They call 3 days later back to them, and their tint's already done. They missed the train. So it's very important. Again, I can't emphasize more enough on digital marketing. You gotta be on top and quick to respond. So how do I be quick? As I said, I have my cell phone with me. I have my emails. I have all the apps, Yelp, Google, Facebook, and what else? And yeah, all those that I mentioned earlier. It's all on my phone. But even on your phone, sometimes in your pocket, you don't hear the ring, you don't feel the vibration. You're running around, working in your shop. I get it. It's quite busy. So what do? I have a few tips I can give you. I have two things that I use. I have a digital Samsung watch. You don't have to use this one. You can get an Apple Watch. You can do whatever, anything that can give you any notification to vibrate on your hand. You might be tinting. You might be talking to a customer. And you get these vibrations. You know someone's calling you, or someone's texting you, or someone sent a Yelp message, or whatever. You're ready to respond. So I highly recommend this. It's going to tell you your time, of course, but more important, notifications that are coming in. You don't have to buy a new one. You don't need a $300, $500 fancy one. You could get a used one or a simple one for $100. Highly recommend. Charge it every night. You're ready for the next morning. The other thing I also use is this little Bluetooth headset. It's huge, 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 huge. So when someone's calling my cell phone, I might not hear it. My phone's charging 20 feet away from my shop. Well, I got my phone, my watch ringing. I got my little headphone, Bluetooth headphone ringing. I can pick up the call remotely and not miss a beat. Be on top of it. You don't want to miss an opportunity that people are willing to pay for your services. And again, people appreciate that you're on top of it. So there's that too as well. Any other tips? Yeah, those are the ones that I use a lot, and just following up is really important. In your emails, your signatures have links, to your Instagram page, whatnot. Every reply, have your cell phone, your website and address to your shop is very important, just in case they're trying to figure out where you are last minute. So you don't miss out on that too. So follow-ups on phone calls is really important. Text messages, DMs, direct messages, requests for quotes, and having all this technology that we have with us is huge to be able to bring your business to the next level. So, there's a little bit more to it, and we can go in more detail, which could take a few more, time. But right now it is about 30 minutes in, and I want to leave this opportunity for you guys. If you have any questions, I know it's a quick skim through, and it's nothing that I can kind of train. It's going to take some time to do, but take your time. Again, it's free. It doesn't hurt. Ask friends or family. Don't be ashamed. It's a growing pain, for any business owner. Learn how to do it. Go on YouTube. There's tons of YouTube videos, free information at your hands to just spend your time after work and just invest in it, because it paid off for us. We're booked out for 2-3 weeks, new jobs and this and that. And the best referrals are your clients, right? And not once you get them in the door, they keep on coming back because they had such a great experience. So that's another segment, right? In the follow through, it's really important that your shop is upright, it's nice and clean and tidy. You got everything presenting. You have a smile on your face. Quick responses, all that, providing amenities. Again, that's another segment down the line. Maybe I'll represent in the future. But put your best foot forward. Be on top of your game. Promote yourself as free as possible. If you need to spend a little bit of money on marketing, I did a little bit in the wintertime. I was a little bit worried, especially with the pandemic. I spent a little bit, and to be totally honest with you, after spending hundreds of thousands, $1,000 a month, and on top of AdWords and Google, I'm spending $2,000 a month in advertising. honestly, I didn't really get much. At least maybe the company I used wasn't doing such a great job, but I kind of regretted it. I would save 7 grand, 8 grand in the past like 3 months or so. I could have saved money. But what I've been doing has been really great, and I hope it works for you too. So I'll leave it up back to Troy. Yeah.
Thank you, Felix. Guys, as you know, hopefully you learned here, I don't think there's a silver bullet. And Felix certainly would support that and share why that, is the case. But it's a myriad of activity that, you see Felix doing, that's resulting in the engagement with consumers. And I think when you see all the different tactics on all the different platforms, combined, that's kind of what results in this engagement that Felix is getting. Felix, you can stop sharing your screen now.
You got it.
So, I think when you look at Felix's efforts here collaboratively, you can see how they work cohesively. But I think one of the telltale signs is this response time. Felix is really, a trendsetter as it relates to response time. And it's evidence, it's graded by Yelp with a 20-minute response time. I mean, the next best response time was 2 hours. So you can see how Felix has kind of modeled his business to be speed of service. And when you look at Amazon setting the pace with the expectation that I can order something on Amazon and literally maybe get it same day, or certainly next day, that becomes the expectation for the consumer. So if your business model is not set up for speed, you potentially are missing business, as Felix just shared. My suspicion here is that Felix is stealing business from everyone else because of his response time. And he just makes it more convenient to do business with his company. So I applaud Felix. We thank Felix. We thank you, Felix, for putting this together today and working with you over the past few weeks. I know you're a busy man, and we thank you for taking the time to share all this with our dealer network. So on behalf of everyone today and the team at EPD and 3M, we thank you, Felix.
Thank you for the opportunity, Troy.
You got it, Felix. So our next presenter is Nate Stevens. Nate Stevens is the founder and executive chairman of Detail Pro POS. We're optimistic that you're going to learn about this business software that's designed to increase revenue and cash flow while reducing operational costs and paperwork. Nate, take it away.
Perfect. Thanks, Troy. And Felix, I think this dovetails nicely with what you were talking about with response time, reputation, reviews, and just being generally accessible. What I'm going to present here today is the Detail Pro package that kind of ties everything together in terms of running a shop and not break the bank while doing it. So I come out of the car industry, car dealership business. I've seen very expensive software packages. This is something that is turnkey and connects all the major facets of your business to make you guys more efficient and ultimately grow the bottom line. We have hundreds of detailers across the country that are running on Detail Pro, growing every month. Tint shops, ceramic shops, auto detailers, mobile detailing with our mobile app package. Yeah, so without further ado, let me get started and show you how this works. So Detail Pro POS stands for point of sale, and that really kind of ties everything together, right? So all that work you're doing ultimately online to drive customer leads and interest is going to funnel into your point of sale, into your checkout experience. So that's why we call it Detail Pro POS. You click in and you sign in. This is a completely cloud-based application. And it also runs on iOS and on Android for those of you that are on the go. I'm going to give you a quick overview of how detailers are using this in the real world. I'm friends with Ryan Nichols over at Unique Auto, so he gave me permission to use his account.
You can share your screen, Nate.
Okay, one second. Here we go. Ready, Ryan? This is the software. Boom. So the website is Detail Pro POS. When you log in, this is the application that you guys are going to see. Effectively, what this does is gives you your month-over-month sales of your business. really, this is just kind of tying together. We call it a business in a box because it ties all of the back office functions, the scheduling, the checkout, the point of sale, with all those front office tools and capabilities that Felix was talking about in terms of text messaging, driving reputation, driving Yelp reviews. And it does it very simply by converting the checkout, the receipt into a long-lasting relationship and opportunity to ask for a review with your client base. So let me just show you how the software works and how this comes together for detailers. Basically, you log into the application, you have all of your recent customers, and you have your top customers over here. This is, again, like I said, it's a cloud-based application. All of your customer base is accessible at your fingertip. So if I want to pull up a customer or a vehicle, it's all logged in here and backed up. If I walk through here and I want to see what I'm doing for the day, I can see, okay, I've got these jobs coming in. This links up with your website, so it's fully hooked into your website as well. So we provide an online booking link, as well as customers can text you or call in and generate an appointment. Unique Auto has a pretty full schedule today. They're up in the Ohio region. Everybody wants a car looking great, tinted out. So we have very simply the status of the booking, who's coming in. If I need to text message this customer, I can do that from right here. I also get a complete view of my weekly schedule here. So I can color code these. If I have multiple lanes or multiple bays, I can set up different calendars for each one and have those kind of funnel in accordingly. And really what this is doing is kind of integrating all the different facets that we talked about. Let me just take a step back and kind of walk you guys through kind of what this looks like from a consumer standpoint. So on your website, you can have a online booking tool. So these online booking tools have your different categories, and you can put this on your Instagram, on your Yelp page. This funnels in all of your traffic and all of your leads into the Detail Pro software. I'm going to give you guys a quick now overview of what happens once you have an appointment in the system and you're ready to check that customer out. So your customers are coming in. I press generate bill here. This now will, let me get a register open. It'll bring in the job that was done and the amount that you want to charge. So if I want to charge $150, I can press accept payment. That'll then bring me to a checkout screen where I can actually take a credit card payment, a cash payment, or manually enter a credit card over the phone. What's beautiful about this now is it gives you a complete log of your business. So all of your revenue coming in. He's been on a great growth rate tear. I think he's doubled his sales year over year with the system. You can see, okay, we have a couple unpaid invoices here, and we have all of our paid business as well. So I'm not going to get too into the weeds here, but I just want to give you guys a quick overview of kind of how detailers are using this to kind of grow their shop from a single location to multiple detailing centers in their region, or to a fleet of mobile vans. This is as in our industry, commercial is obviously very, very important. So we have a lot of customers that do work with dealerships and commercial enterprises. This works beautifully with their accounting systems so that you can invoice out the vehicle or the job, and then at the end of the month, take a bulk payment in for all of the invoices that are left unpaid. So kind of keeps everything organized and really makes sure that all those efforts are paying off and actually materializing into your in your bank account. You have a complete list of the transactions, and you have a complete service menu and product menu that you can create as well. So those are kind of the back office fundamentals of the system. What this does differently than a lot of the point of sale systems out there and a lot of the software packages is it actually integrates directly with what Felix was talking about. Your social media, your reviews, your online reputation, your search rankings. So if we can take, you guys are excellent at your craft, have a passion for it. If we can take those customers that have been, that transact with us and get them to leave a review and drive content, that becomes fundamental to kind of the growth of our business. And it doesn't cost anything to do it. So we have a complete integrated review request system. So what we do is we put a personalized photo of the business owner, their staff, then with the dog, kind of personalize it. And if we get a positive after every transaction, we link up to their Google page and to their Yelp page to automatically push reviews from what we call an e-receipt or from from a text message. If it's a negative review, things happen. We help you get in front of that and help them have a direct channel of communication to your basically to the business owner. And as you guys grow and have more staff, you're going to want to make sure you're in front of that sort of thing. So let me just walk you through kind of what that setup looks like. But you connect your Facebook account, you connect your Twitter, Yelp, Google, and then when a transaction happens on the system, it's very, you guys might be familiar with Square. It's very similar to an iPad-based point of sale where you're able to transact and check out. So that's kind of the ability to not only kind of organize your business in terms of appointment scheduling and booking and checkout, but also use that to seamlessly kind of while you're sleeping, drive more traffic to your website and to your business. So, and then, reports, tons of reporting, in terms of your profitability, your cost structure is all kind of built into the system as well. Let me just pull up the example hardware. So the software actually rides on an underlying, basically any computer. So we're not locking you into, buying some expensive point of sale system. This works on any laptop, PC, Mac computer. You just pop open a Chrome browser, you plug in your credit card reader, and then you can pair it with an iPad at your checkout. So this basically what that does is that allows you to drive tip revenue with checkout. So I can give you guys a quick example of what that looks like over here. So effectively what we have is the software here, the checkout process, and then if you want to go with the mobile option, you're able to basically take an iPad with you in your truck or on your iPhone and take payments, on the iPad directly. So yeah, it's really, kind of business in a box, complete solution, and it's a fantastic system. So let's see what else we would like to go through. Conversations, text messaging is critical. Effectively with the system, you get what we call a smart number. That number integrates directly with your website. So all of your communications are being channeled into one location. And you basically have automatic appointment reminders. So the last thing you guys want to have is, dead time throughout the day. So what the system does is it automatically sends out appointment reminders to all of your clientele the night before to ensure kind of, very quickly, hey, wanted to make sure you're coming into Unique Auto tomorrow. Just want to remind you for your 10:30 appointment. And that allows you to really reduce your any type of no-shows or people that don't come in. But yeah.
Hey, Nate,
So
we have a
yeah, go ahead.
question for you. What is the cost for the system? How is it priced per user, set monthly rate, and it also, is there a QuickBooks connection?
Great questions. So the pricing is a subscription per location, effectively depending on the package that you need. Most of our detailers are on the better package. If you want a few of the marketing bells and whistles, it goes up to $349 a month. But that gets you 3 calendars, 3 registers, 2,500 contacts, the staff scheduling, review generation, the smart texting number, SMS appointment reminders, and dealership billing. So think about that as an accounts receivable accounting module. And in terms of the upfront cost, there's simply the cost for the hardware, which we sell to you guys at cost. If you can basically determine if you want to go with the iPad option, the iPad setup, or what we call the countertop point of sale. The reader, if you want just a MagStripe reader, it goes from $99 up to, for a chip card reader, up to $199. So that's the pricing. In regards to QuickBooks, yes, there's a direct sync with the QuickBooks system. Effectively, the way we look at it is you can get down to your gross profit margin in Detail Pro directly. So your top line revenue, your any inventory cost and any service cost. We can show you what your contribution margin is to the business. Things like your utilities, your rent, et cetera. That's handled in your full accounting system, and that's why we would sync out to a system like QuickBooks for that. But to be honest with you, a lot of our detailers just focus on that gross profit number, and they let their accounting person or a bookkeeper kind of mess around with the QuickBooks system. But great question, guys. Troy, anything else?
Nate, what is the green plus button used for on the top tab?
Let me get back in there. So that's a quick link or hot link button. I don't know if that shows up on my screen, but it shows you kind of at a glance, okay, if I want to just have a walk-in customer, I want to quickly generate an invoice or a bill, or if I want to have a customer on the phone, he wants to schedule an appointment. And then if I want to add a contact, I can do that from there. In terms of, a lot of our customers use this smart number, which you can see here. He's got his local area code, which is a smart number. Anybody calls that goes right into his local line. But what it allows him to do is log and record all of that phone traffic and text traffic directly against his customer database. What some of our guys are doing that work with franchises like Ceramic Pro and such. When they text leads, they text it on the smart number, and then the lead directly shows up in their database under this conversations tab. So they have a complete list of prospects. But that's another great question, Troy. So quickly, kind of access to your contact library. Register is very important. I don't know if you guys have gone all digital in terms of payments and only accept credit cards, but either way, if you're going to accept any cash or check or have a minimum wage person at the front desk, being able to have them close their register at the end of the day, to make sure you guys have peace of mind that all the money is staying in the business. That's why we have potentially multiple registers if businesses want that and the ability to open and close a register.
Great, Nate. Now, Nate, if they'd like to move forward, how do you recommend they engage with Detail Pro to either learn more or do their schedule their own demo?
100%. We can do personalized demos. The best option would be to come in through here. There's an option called Try It. So kind of look at this, figure out the package you guys are interested in. You click on Try It. You'll then be able to put in your basic information here, get a free personalized demo, talk about kind of how you guys want to grow your business and work with a consultant on how to do that cost effectively. So just go to detailpropos.com and you can either create an account or go in for the trial. That will come into one of our representatives and we'll be in touch promptly.
Awesome, Nate. Well, thank you, Nate. Certainly, we appreciate your time as the founder, developer, executive chairman of Detail Pro. And folks, again, if you have any further questions, you're welcome to send them along and we'll get those answered from Nate and his team. But once again, Nate, we thank you for taking the time to join us today. The technology looks really great. Certainly, it could help with efficiency and profitability and taking advantage of what Felix shared about being nimble and responsive. This seems like a tool that certainly could support that business model. So thank you, Nate.
100%. Thanks, Troy. Thanks, guys.
You bet. Okay, so our next presenter is Kim Tostred from 3M, Channel Marketing Manager. And she is joined today by the National Corporate Partnership Chairman of the Ferrari Club, Neil Gardner. So Kim, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Are you pulling up the slides?
I am.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, great. So today I wanted to review the 2021 plan for the auto clubs. Of course, Ferrari Club of America, but also Tesla Club, Motor Club. And so, the first thing we're going to be releasing is actually new press releases announcing the continuation of the sponsorship. So you're going to see that come out within the industry. You're going to see that released even with the Tesla Motor Club and Ferrari Club of America. We're going to put it in the Prancing Horse, which is the official publication for Ferrari Club of America. And then also, if possible, in the Tesla Motor Club. You'll also see it posted on our 3M pages as well. But we're going to continue with the social media, not only through our social media channels, but also with the auto club's social media outlets as well. We're going to continue to have print ads, banner ads, and just continuing to really highlight that sponsorship of the auto clubs. So you can go ahead and go to the next slide. Thank you. As you know, 3M is the official automotive film sponsors for these auto clubs. This is something that we do feature on our webpage. 3m.com/patterns. So this is something or a banner that you're going to find at the bottom of that page featuring both auto clubs. Anytime we are promoting either one, we are driving the members to the how to find a pro shop dealer or how to find a 3M automotive dealer. So definitely trying to highlight these sponsorships. You can go on to the next one. Thanks. So this one is a rotating banner that you're going to find on 3m.com/personal auto. I know right now, if you do click on that, see the news, it's the original press release that we had last September for the Tesla Motor Clubs. And then once we have a new press release for Ferrari Club, we'll add it to the banner for the Ferrari Club of America portion of that. And you can continue. So this is an ad that is going to be in the IWFC trade show program that is going to happen on June 7th. So a couple weeks away. Just, talking about the two partnerships, highlighting it, and making sure everyone is aware of it. So on to the next. The Tesla ad, this is an ad we had in the Window Film magazine last year. We plan to update this ad and have it again in the magazine. The other one featured here is Ferrari Club of America print ad that's actually going to be a part of the Oregon Drive that's going to take place in July. And also we're hoping to use this ad in other local chapter events, this year. This ad specifically actually focuses on the ceramic coating. So you might be aware that we just released a new 3M ceramic coating, but we definitely want to bring it back and talk about the window film and paint protection products we have as well. But just wanted to highlight the new product that we have going on. On the next one, this is something that was in the Prancing Horse last year, but we're going to be updating and refreshing the content for the program ad. So Neil, expect a new ad that we'll have for this year that we hope to incorporate. And then on the last slide, we had the opportunity to go to a member's home that had, I think, 11 Ferraris. Neil, you can correct me, but had many Ferraris. Yes. What was it, Neil?
At that home, yes, he had 11.
11. Neil only has
other homes too.
Yeah. But we did get a lot of great images, not only of ceramic coating, which is shown here on the slide, but for PPF, ceramic IR being installed. And so this is definitely your opportunity to leverage 3M being the official automotive film sponsor to the car clubs. You can leverage, our sponsorship. And we'll have all of these assets out on Dealer Advantage. And we're working on packaging these up. And then once we have new banner ads and other social media ads that you can use, we're going to have that available as well. We're working with an agency to refresh the content. And so we'll let you know as soon as that's available. And we're expecting that in July. So coming up faster than we think. So hopefully that's helpful to find out what's going on with the auto clubs. And I'm going to turn it over to Neil. Troy did introduce him, but he is the National Corporate Partnership Chairman of the Ferrari Club of America. And I'll turn it over to Neil.
Thanks, Kim. And thanks, Troy, for having me here. It's quite exciting to be here. Troy said to me, I had about 20 minutes, and I told him that I can barely clear my throat in 20 minutes, never mind tell you all about the Ferrari Club of America. So I'll do my best. So who we were founded in 1962, and we are the only official Ferrari club in North America that is officially affiliated with the brand itself. Enzo Ferrari himself blessed the club way back when we first started. And next year is our 60th anniversary, and we've got a lot of events planned for that, which would be very good for the dealers to get involved in with their local chapters where they can. We've got over 7,000 members and growing, and we're the largest Ferrari club in the world by far of all the official owners clubs around the world. We represent about a little over 45% of all the owners. We have 55 chapters in 16 regions in Canada and the United States. As you guys, I'm sure, are aware, we've got a very high-end client, or a very high-end typical individual that's a member, and they have an average of about 7 cars. So it's not just their Ferraris they also have a bunch of other cars typically. And usually when they do something to one car, they do them to all, for example, film. And the basic ethos of the club, I mean, we're not trying to change the world, but we are just trying to enjoy the world we have, and to help inspire the next generation to do the same. So as Kim and Troy mentioned, I'm Neil Gardner. I'm the North American Partnership Chairman, and I'm also on the executive committee that makes things happen for the club. I formerly was the Western Canadian director and president of the club. And I've been around the club for about 10 years, 12 years, somewhere in there. I just got a pin saying that. So it's something like that. But what do? There are a lot of local activities, there are regional activities, and then there are national events. So for the local events, what we typically do are very frequently are dinner drives. So we'll go to a specific restaurant or a venue, a winery, for a get together. Anything that's an excuse to go for a drive, we do. We do a lot of charity events, which are very popular. We do track days all the time, and track days are just torture on cars. When Troy and Kim were at our annual meet in Arizona in 2019, there was a guy that had hockey tape on the front of his brand new $800,000 Ferrari Pista that Troy promptly walked over and gave him the number of a dealer to get that fixed. You guys can do a lot better than hockey tape. We do a lot of concourse events, so car shows. Our annual meet is our big event. We do that once per year, and it moves usually west to east each year. The next one will likely be in the east, where all you guys are. We do a lot of destination drives. So, we'll just figure out, we're going to Mount Rushmore for a drive. We're going to, pick anywhere. But more relevant to you guys, cars and coffee is a really popular thing with our group. There's nothing that they like more than just to have an excuse to get together and go for a drive and go somewhere. And the neat thing about 3M dealers is that they have a very relevant product to us. What our members care about more than anything is preserving their car. Not just the value of it, but they love the cars. I certainly know I love mine, and mine are all covered in 3M. Um, they like keeping it minty. They like keeping their cars minty fresh. They want to protect the finish, but they also want they enjoy the low maintenance of it. You don't have to wash it and then wax it and then coat it. I mean, once you've got your car wrapped, as you guys well know, it makes it an awful lot easier to keep it tidy. As I mentioned earlier, track days are a killer. They just destroy the paint on cars. And a lot of people don't go to track days because they don't want to wreck the cars. And so once they find out that all you have to do is film the car, and that it doesn't damage the paint, it doesn't, turn yellow after 15 minutes like it used to, that the technology is so much better, they all want their cars covered. And I used to be one of those guys right up until I got my first car filmed. And so these cars are all about how they make you feel, full stop. I mean, that's the big thing, is that whether it's, the attainment of a long-term goal, or whether it's inspiring the kids in your neighborhood, or whether it's just the thrill of going really fast with that sound behind you. These cars are all about how they make you feel. So relationships are a big deal with the Ferrari crowd. You guys, I know a lot of you already have Ferraris. As Felix was saying, he's got an exotic car business that he's got going. So you're all aware of this, is that, there's a certain segment of people that are looked at as one big ATM machine, and we get really tired of that. So the relationships are very important. And that's, once you've built the relationships with the members of the Ferrari Club, then you become our shop. And that's it. Nobody shops anymore. We like to deal with people that are quote unquote like us. The irony is, the longer you take to build the relationship, the faster the sales will come. And that's been the case that we've noticed with all of our sponsors, regardless of what the nature of the product is. The dealers do what you guys do for sure, but they charge Astro bucks to do it, and it can be a bit hard to get it done. And so that's where you guys have a real advantage, is that you can do not just the cars, but you can also do the Ferraris, but you can do all their cars, the kids' cars, the spouses' cars. And one thing that we're noticing, by the way, is a trend is women. There are, about 10 years ago, it was about 96% of buyers, of Ferrari buyers, were men. And now that number is considerably closer to 50-50. It's still not 50-50, of course, but we are noticing women coming in droves now. So that's something to be aware of, is that, it used to be that the exotic car crowd was a bunch of dudes. Well, once you get, once you have everybody involved, well, your sales pool grows by 50%. Our partnership, what can be really good for you guys, and what we've seen work, is that once you're affiliated with the Ferrari brand, that says it all. The lineup of people that want to partner with our club is a lot longer than the lineup of slots we have available. And we partnered with 3M. It was Troy and Manny who were really the catalyst for getting this partnership going, which we're so excited about still. Is that, once we wanted to partner with a company that has standards as high as ours are. And likewise, you guys want, clients that are the higher caliber clients. And so we can bring that to each other. And we have already, in the time that we've been together, but there's still so much more to go. And, and what it says about you is that if your standards are high enough for Ferrari people, they're high enough for everybody. They also will build excitement. It also builds excitement for your shops. If you get a parking lot full of Ferraris, and then, as Felix was talking about, I really liked a lot of what Felix had to say about the social media bit. we've noticed that when we have a drive and dine event where we go to a restaurant and there's 30 or 40 Ferraris parked out front, and then the restaurant says, "Welcome Ferrari Club of America," all of a sudden the open table just goes crazy, and the reservations go through the roof. And and that notoriety lasts, because once somebody goes once, they often go over and over again. I mean, every business likes to be in the reselling business rather than the selling business. Um, and the nice thing is that, being affiliated locally with the club, with your local chapters, opens doors for you and your business via both new relationships and events. So it's not just the individuals, it's everything behind what those individuals represent, whether they're large businesses, whether they're large events. Um, and it also expands your access to a very large list of seriously qualified buyers to buy your best stuff. Ferrari people typically, not always, but certainly typically, when they've got a car that they've ordered and waited 6 months for, they don't just want to throw any old film on it. They'll ask you, what's your best stuff? How do I keep it looking its best? And most importantly, perhaps, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, if the last year has proven anything, is that quality of life is just as important as quantity of it. So I think I'll wrap up fairly quickly here, and turn it back over to Troy and Kim. But I just want to thank all of you for participating in some of our local events. I know that we've had a couple of shops in the Mid-Atlantic region. We did some drone filming of the cars driving, and we've done a few other events as well along in your territory there. And they've been a lot of fun. Our chapter presidents have really enjoyed them. You guys have, I understand you guys have gained some business out of it, which I'm super pleased about. When they actually get together with you guys, the one thing that amazes me, and I'm ashamed to admit myself, is how much I don't know, or how much I didn't know about filming and tinting. And a lot of our owners don't know about that. They don't know how the technology has evolved. They don't know the state of the art. And they also don't know about the fun stuff that you can do. We featured 3M in 2 issues ago in our Prancing Horse magazine, which is our quarterly magazine, which is award winning. And we talked about all of the neat things that you can do with the graphics. Like, for example, you can do the patina on and do even rust spots if you want to make your car look old, and all kinds of neat stuff, using it for business promotion, which a lot of our guys would do. They just don't know that it's something that can be done. So I'll finish with, as we continue this partnership together, I'm really most looking forward to further refining and adapting to what we each value, because there's a lot of natural synergy there. And and Troy and Kim, myself, and a few others that aren't on this call, we've developed a very, very strong, high quality relationship. And what that has done is it's allowed us to adapt as quickly as the events that we're responding to in the competitive landscape, in the marketplace, in the technical landscape, tastes and trends, etc. So we're really looking forward to building that further with you guys. And thank you so much for partnering with us. We couldn't be happier about it.
Neil, thank you. Neil and I, gosh, we started this relationship, as Neil said. Manny and I initiated with Neil, and gosh, it's been over 2 years, and it's been great. And the whole idea here was to make everyone aware of the opportunity with the Ferrari Club of America and the local opportunities, as Neil was sharing. So I want to just share my screen to kind of illustrate what Neil was saying on the localized level. Okay, so if you can see my screen here, you're seeing some of the activities that we've done locally. So at the local dealer, we did a virtual event. That was our first event, because that was literally as COVID was getting rolling. So, we had to have something that we wanted to share around the Ferrari Club. So we did the virtual event, and that was right outside of Philadelphia. That was a greatly attended event. And, our dealer, Sun and Shade, did a remarkable job. They did a live demonstration to the Ferrari Club. So they were doing ceramic IR installation and a paint protection film application. And then, of course, that allowed the local Ferrari Club members to see the opportunities, as Neil indicated, about protecting the car. When Neil and I first got together, he shared, here's what the Ferrari Club members are interested in. How do I protect my Ferrari? So essentially we developed a product lineup and activities around, how would our 3M product lineup best suit the Ferrari Club member? And so we built out the curriculum based on that. As Neil indicated, we also did a Ferrari drive, and what we did there was we literally brought in drones to cover the drive of the Ferraris to our local dealer in Maryland, Westminster Speed and Sound. So we actually had the drones flying to cover the drive. That took about an hour to a 90-minute drive to our dealer shop, where again, they saw a live demonstration of the ceramic IR and the paint protection film for this particular chapter, which was outside of Washington, D.C. And then another event we did was an offsite. So what I'm trying to share with you is that we have a variety of ways of working together with the Ferrari Club based on you, our dealer, and the needs of your shop. So whether it was a virtual presentation, whether it was at your shop, and then lastly here, what we did with the Ferrari Club in North Carolina, we did a remote event at the Carolina Exotic Car Club. So our local dealers, it was a collaborative event where we brought in a few dealers, set up operations at the Carolina Exotic Car Club, where the Ferrari Club gave us a Ferrari, and our dealers demonstrated the applications of, again, the ceramic product and the paint protection film on a Ferrari for the local club in North Carolina at the Carolina Exotic Car Club. So again, just depending on what your needs are as our dealer, you just have to let us know. And so simply to go forward here, we just invite you, if this is something that interests you, to please reach out to your local EPD rep, okay? And just say, "Ooh, I'd be interested in seeing what we could do to put together an event with my local Ferrari Club." And then what happens next is the EPD rep will reach out to me. We'll kind of get a sense of you, the dealer, what your store capability is in terms of how many people can you accommodate, your parking situation to bring in Ferraris, as Neil indicated, and then what works best for you. So then once I get that information, I'll double back to Neil and share, here's what we're thinking. Neil, how can you help us, get with the right club, the local club, and see what we can do to put an event together. So it's not a cookie cutter process by any stretch of the imaginations. We really do dial this up locally for you to give you the best opportunity to partner properly with the Ferrari Club. So anyway, I think it's an opportunity. And, when you think about what Felix shared and what he's doing with his Facebook group clubs, and the idea that you could then integrate the Ferrari Club into your digital marketing efforts. When Neil says you can bring in, 10, 15, 20 Ferraris into your parking lot, that becomes an event in itself. So you could theoretically look to do something maybe with a Facebook Live event and or taking photos, promoting that on your social media, and just really leveraging, as Neil said, the aspirational brand of Ferrari. And people just love the cars. They just do, as we all know. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed that segment. What I'd like to do next is invite Tim Boxes from 3M. Tim is a senior marketing manager for 3M Company, and he is going to introduce to us the 3M 2080 product. Tim?
I'm here. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Thank you. Thank you, Troy, and thanks everybody for having me here with you today. That's exciting stuff. Ferrari. I don't know if I can top that with a wrap film, but we'll do our best. The wrap film from 3M is pretty exciting, and I'm aware of some of you have started to use it already. So let's see here. Let me transition. Okay. There we go. You got my 2080 screen?
Not quite yet.
Okay. Try it again. There we go.
There it
Now you
comes.
should have it.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Move this out of the way. There we go. Okay. So let's get right into it. I'm Tim Boxeth. I'm the US and Canada product marketer for our 3M wrap films, as well as our 3M paint protection film and our 3M automotive window films and knifeless tape and a few other things. So kind of all things personal vehicle solutions. So 2080, I'm hoping most of you have heard of it already, but let me move this control panel. Is my control panel in the way?
No, Tim, you're good.
Good. All right, excellent. So, it wasn't too long ago we had a 1080 product, and we still do to some degree. You may be familiar with that. But we took that and we wanted to figure out how do we make even a better product. So we did that with 2080. So with 1080, we had, a wide range of colors, good conformability, good warranty, good global support network. But with 2080, it's gotten better. Quite a bit better, in fact. If you've worked with it, I hope you've experienced that. But we've enhanced the conformability and cold stretch. So now you don't need as much heat when you're installing it. It's much easier to install. And plus being more conformable, it's going to go around curves better. It's going to stay down better in those curves and channels. We have new colors. We added 6 new colors when we launched the 2080 line. So got 106 colors in total. I'll go into more detail on that. We do have a conformable protective film layer on the gloss color. So this was the thing that was really revolutionary and helps restylers / installers in that, there had been some other cap sheets on film. In fact, 3M had one on our 1080 Chrome, but there wasn't a cap sheet or a protective film layer that you could actually leave on throughout the installation process. So this can be really helpful for some installers. They like this, they leave it on throughout installation, because then it really reduces or essentially eliminates any squeegee scratching. The other thing that protective film layer does, and if you're not aware in the manufacturing process, is by putting that on right after manufacturing and leaving it on until you guys use the film, it actually helps reduce surface impressions. And those, if you're not familiar, are kind of that sometimes you'll see in wrap film in general in the industry, you'll see little milky, blotchy looks. Those are surface impressions, and actually putting this layer on there after or during the manufacturing process really helps minimize the number of those. So that is a great new feature. We increased the product warranty. So we'll talk more about that. And then global support and marketing, we've got some really good tools for you. If you're not familiar, we'll talk about that as well. So as I mentioned, we added that protective film layer on the gloss colors. Very, very helpful. Improved the cold stretch, as we talked about. We improved the warranty, and we do have 100+ colors. You can see there in the photo, gentleman there, Phil, one of our authorized trainers, is removing that protective film layer in the bottom right. Same with the gentleman on the yellow wrap vehicle. The wrap's already been done, and they're just simply at this point removing that protective film layer. So that is unique. Nobody else in the world has a PFL or a protective film layer or a cap sheet that you can leave on throughout the installation process. In fact, what we're seeing some of the restylers do, and maybe you've done this, is pretty cool, is they'll actually leave it on until the consumer comes to pick up their vehicle, and then they'll pull it off in front of the consumer as a big reveal. And of course, you have scratches in the protective film layer, and then you pull that layer off, and you've got this really cool, amazing, pristine looking wrap. These are the colors, 106 of them. This is a poster that is available to you. We'll talk more about that, but A lot of really cool colors. Standard colors, we have gloss, satin, matte. We have some premium colors that have gloss, satin, matte, including dead matte. We have flip colors in gloss and satin. So of course, where you see, depending on the angle, the color changes. And then in textured, we've got some carbon fibers, we've got some brushed metals, and then we do have a silver chrome that is spectacular and one of the easier chromes to install in the marketplace due to that 2080 type technology, including the protective film layer, which is now also on the chrome, and you can leave on throughout installation. So the warranty got a lot better. I mean, we went from being a 3-year vertical, 1-year horizontal warranty with 1080 to a 7-year and 2-year for most of the US, which was zone 2 there. Zone 1 is parts of Canada and parts of Northern Europe. Zone 3 we do have in the US, but it's minimal. That's the desert Southwest, and it, you know, we still have a pretty strong warranty there too. So, but most of the US and where you're all located, I think, is you know, in the East Coast, and 7 years and 2 years. So very, very good warranty for the consumers, and to back you guys up. We do have about, I think it's 16 colors or so that are still in the 1080 format. The other, 90 colors are already transitioned to 2080. These final colors will transition in early 22. We were going to do it this year, as maybe some of you are aware. And then with some of the COVID issues and supply chain issues in the industry and other industries for that matter, and just the huge demand we've seen. I mean, this business, by the way, if you haven't experienced it or checked it out a whole lot, is booming, this wrap business. And, you know, I guess the best thing I can look at it and try to understand about it is we've seen a huge increase in the home improvement market, and people are at home more, right? We got more time. We want to enhance the environments we live in, and cars really are, vehicles are a natural extension to that. So this business is really growing like crazy. I think we're still early in the growth life cycle, and it's only going to continue to get bigger. So anyhow, all that led to us having to push this final wave of colors to 2080 in early 22. Everything I'm talking about here today really can be found on 3m.com/2080. So if you remember nothing else, just remember that website or plug it in right now, because you can get at everything I'm talking about from the site, okay? 3m.com/2080. On the site, you'll find all sorts of things, and we'll look at closer at each, but you know, we've got posters for you to use where you can see the colors available. There's various articles you can read that might help you with your business. There's an marketing and advertising kit. I'll show you that. So a lot of good stuff on there, okay? So let's look at a little more detail on what you can find there. First of all, colors page. Not only can you look at the new colors, but you can go see all the colors that are available. I would also encourage you to, and I probably should have had this little part here in a different spot, but oh well. This is, I would encourage you to follow us on 3M Films on Instagram and Facebook. Besides our website, that's another good way for you to keep up with what's going on. And so this is our Facebook page. Here's our Instagram, again, 3M Films for both of them. So sorry, a little interrupted commercial there. But back to the website and what's on it. This is a marketing and advertising kit I mentioned. You can download that. Within there, you'll find photos, videos, literatures, and social ads, things that you can use to promote wraps out to the consumer and auto enthusiast market. I know many of you have or are in the process of probably developing your own content using photos of vehicles you've wrapped yourselves. And that's great, but here's some additional tools for you if you find it useful. So I'd encourage you to check that out. Again, 3m.com/2080, you can get this marketing and advertising kit. Within the kit, you'll find, as I mentioned, some print digital ads. Here's some examples of some of those that you can grab and use. We also have literature that you can download and use. I mean, you can download our digital versions of the poster on that far right side. We got a few different options there. You can download that and have that on display in your lobby if you want to use that. I'll show you in a second where you can go to actually acquire a hard copy or printed copy. We have the brochure, which you can download. Some folks will even use that with consumers. It's kind of more geared towards folks like yourselves to read, but I think it reads well and works well if you're talking to consumers and they're interested in learning more about the product. A lot of these auto enthusiasts, and I imagine the Ferrari Club owners, the vehicles are also, auto enthusiasts. Sometimes they like to look into the more of the details and the technical aspects, and this brochure can help tell that story in a nice way. We also have some other tools for you. We have various merch and displays you can get your hands on. 3m.com/itsawrap. You can get t-shirts, mugs, It's a Wrap items of various sorts. You can also get our wall display and color decks there. So let me talk about that. This is the new color deck, or the latest one. It contains all 106 colors. You can generally get these from, EPD, but if you just want to go grab some yourself, you can get them off that 3m.com It's a Wrap page. Now you do pay for them if you go on your own to that page, get them $15, but you certainly can talk to EPD as well. And I know they're supporting you guys with various tools related to 2080. Now this is the new wall display. This is a great looking display, brand new. People are loving it. It's really easy to put together, comes with good directions, and does a really nice job of showcasing the film. I like how each of the panels are curved, so it really shows off the conformability, but gives you a big enough swatch too to see the film. And you can see there's some open spots on the bottom. We anticipate adding new colors, and when we do, there'll be kits you can acquire to grab panels of the new colors. So this particular item, the only place you can get it is on 3m.com/itsawrap. The distributors are not providing them per se, typically, but that's the place you want to go to get the wall display. Okay. Now, the other thing that's going on, besides providing you tools, we are also doing marketing to build awareness for wraps, as we do on the PPF and the window tint side of things. And so we do that on the wrap side. We are advertising to consumers and auto enthusiasts, trying to encourage them to get interested in wraps. And we're driving them to 3m.com/restyling or 3m.com/restyling studio. And I'll show you what that is here in a moment. But from there, hopefully we've got them excited and interested. And from there, they can find a restyler. And we'll talk more about that restyler locator and where we're at with it right now, who's on there, how you get on there, and where we're going in the future. So I just want you to know this is going on every month. We are trying to develop that awareness and drive leads to you guys for vehicle wraps as well, if you're on the locator. So with that, this is really cool. We've just got a couple things to go over still. We're going to finish with kind of a fun thing here, a tool for you that you can use. This is the Restyling Studio, and this is not a design tool. This is a marketing tool. This is something that is web-based, which is good because then we can use it in marketing on the web if we desire. But we can also use it internally in the lobby per se of your stores. So what this is a digital visualizer So people can go in, and I'll give you a demo here in just a second, but people can go into the site and essentially play, really just play and play around and come up with different ideas for how they might want to have a vehicle wrapped. And we also have tint and PPF in there too. So this is a tool that you guys, a lot of shops are putting in their lobbies on displays. So when their customers are waiting, they can mess around. Maybe they came in for PPF and they want to get them interested in wraps. They can do that. People are putting links to this on their website as a tool for their web-based customers to get interested in wraps. So let me show you what that looks like. So this is called the 3M Restyling Studio, as I mentioned. And trying to move this thing out of the way. There we go. So 3m.com/restyling studio. When you get here, you'll see, we've got all these vehicles. We probably won't have, until internet speeds, get much faster, we'll probably keep it around 5, 6, 7 vehicles. Because you want this thing to be a fast experience, being web-based. So you can see here, I'm selecting different vehicles out of the start. And we could pick anything, but I'll pick the truck for now. And then this part takes just a little moment to load, but once it's up, then it moves really nice. Usually. So now we're in the restyling studio. So imagine you've got this on a big display in your lobby, and customers come in, maybe they're coming in for tint or PPF, and they go, what's this? This is kind of fun. And they get in here and they start playing around, whether you have a touch screen or not. Touch screen is probably ideal, but either way, get in here and they can go, I can play around with this. I can pretend I want to have a vehicle wrapped, and I can choose all materials, or I can go in textured and pick different things. I'll pick the shadow black. This is pretty cool because I really like this visualizer. You can zoom in. Really does a nice job with the textures. And with the flip colors, we'll look at that too in a second. But it really does a nice job letting you visualize what that looks like, okay? And we're in the nighttime setting. We can be in the daytime setting as well. Go back to this one. And then, so we can get that vehicle mocked up. Now, of course, consumer might play around, put a bunch of different colors on there, but we'll stick with this one for the moment. We can come in here. We can put on an accent. And each vehicle has preset accent. So again, trying to give enough options to play around, but keep it web-based and fast, so we don't have more than one accent option at the moment. I'm gonna find a gloss, maybe. Actually, no, I'm gonna pick a matte. We'll go to that dead matte black. I think that would look good. And there we go. I like that. Looking good. This site really originated as a vehicle wrap demo and a way to promote. But now that, in 3M, the same division is owning and marketing the window tint and PPF. Of course, we wanted to bring it all in and cross promote, which I'm sure is something you guys do as well. So let's put the crystalline 20 on the windows. And then we've got that going for us. And then, maybe I'm playing around. I decide I want to change it. So let's change the main color of the vehicle to a gloss. And let's get a good look at how about one of these flips, so you guys can see how that looks. So you can see this does a really nice job, I think, of even with the flip colors, it changes the color. Okay. And then at the end here, maybe for PPF, but I'll still put some on. So with PPF, of course, it's a little harder to really show it, but it shows you where it's going. And then we got a PPF on there too. So hopefully that's good enough. You guys can see how this is a fun thing for a consumer if they're hanging out in your lobby or maybe they're on your website. Some way to engage them and cross promote wraps, PPF, window tint, the whole 9 yards. Now, what the user can do if they want when they're done is they can either find a restyler. We'll go into that in just a moment. But if they hit done, they can share it. They can share it through email. They can share it on social media. Again, all building awareness for wraps and PPF and window tint. They can download what they created, or they can still find a restyler. Now, if they click here, they go into our locator. This is a locator you're maybe not as familiar with. It's relatively new. You may be familiar, 3M's got a locator on our window film and PPF web pages that's been around, and we promote you guys there. But we're starting to promote you guys on this additional locator, which again has history in wraps, but we're bringing in tint and PPF. At some point, maybe later this year, we're just going to have one locator targeted at consumers for all personal auto solutions, and you guys would be on there for what you've been approved to be on there for, and we'll talk more about that. But this is this newer locator, so you can get onto this locator as well. So let me just bounce back here and talk about the locator a little more, and then who's on it and how you get on it. As I mentioned, it began as a restyling or graphics focused locator, but now we've brought in the PPF and window film, and we are doing more updates soon. Who's listed on this particular locator right now? It's our 3M preferred graphic installers, our certified graphic installation companies. Some of you may be those. And then, of course, we have our Pro Shop, Premier, and authorized dealers listed accordingly, depending on if you're in PPF, window film, or both with 3M. But if you also want to be listed on here for doing wraps, yeah, that's the question. How do, if I'm you, how do I get on there? Well, today, you would have to take a test that's based on wraps and graphics and showing proficiency in installing them. And we offer that test all around the country at about 5 or 6 different locations. You could do that today, but what I'm going to share a little insight with you guys. If you would, wait until June. We will be announcing a new installer program in June that will give you the option to acquire an installer title specific to just wrapping personal vehicles and not commercial vehicles, not other graphic applications. So if you can sit tight till June, later in June, I'd say, we're almost to June already, later in June, you're going to have an option for that. Okay. So, but if you are interested in getting into vehicle wraps in personal and commercial and other applications, we certainly have that option for you too. So you'll be hearing more about that as we roll out this new installer program. Okay. With that, I think that is it really, unless you guys have any questions for me. I'm happy to take any of that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Tim, we did get those questions answered.
Cool.
So Kim was helping us out.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. You can stop. I think you can stop sharing your screen.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Tim.
All right.
So guys, I just want to say thank you all for joining us today. Certainly thanks to Tim. Hope that was exciting. Certainly that Restyler is a unique tool and potentially could be of value in your showrooms with a link to promote some engagement and interaction with your customers. But again, thanks to our esteemed panel today, Felix Lin, Nate Stevens, Kim Tostrud, Neil Gardner, and Tim Boxeth. So on behalf of everyone here from EPD, the team here, we thank you for taking the time. And this concludes our 2021 Automotive 3M Virtual Conference. We look forward to seeing you soon. I know you're all busy. Have a great summer. Thank you.